Patch 10.1 is right around the corner, and I know everyone is kind of at the end of season one, and they're kind of doing their thing. So I wanted to bring a video to you guys of a class that I think that everyone should be playing, but more particularly a spec, and that spec you can see is the Brewmaster Monk. Now listen, I know everyone out here is playing Prop Pally and Prop Warrior, maybe a few Blood DKs here and there, but I think Brewmaster Monk is the sleeper of all of these tanks. And I'm gonna go into a little bit of detail in this video. Now, this video is gonna be the first of maybe a few. All just depends on the response of everyone that's watching this video. If you enjoy how we break it down, then of course we'll make sure we do more. Now, this video is just going to do a basic rundown of why I feel everyone should have a Brewmaster Monk. All right, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, as you can see my keybinds, Brewmaster Monk has a lot of buttons to hit. And I think this is one of the reasons why you might not see a lot of Brewmasters around. There are a lot of buttons that you have to use and that you can use in order to play the class effectively. Now, if I was to do a tier list from S tier being the top of the ladder and then F tier being the lowest on the ladder, I would probably put Brewmaster in A solely because they don't do as much damage as per se a Prot Warrior or a Prot Pally does. But I think the spec is super solid, but it has a learning curve to it. So this video, we're going to go through the basics. So you can go ahead and get started with your Brewmaster Monk. All right, so as you can see here, as you can see all my keybinds we have now here, I want to break this down and give just basic bare bones of how to play Brewmaster going in. Now, Brewmaster has 5 abilities offensively that you are going to basically rotate through. You have Tiger Palm just as a filler. That's going to reduce your brew cost. You got Blackout Kick. That's just a filler as well. And it also gives you Shuffle for 3 seconds every time you use it. You got Kick Smash, which is going to be your big damage, your range puller and things on ads. So you're going to always want to use that on cooldown. And it also gives you Shuffle and reduces your brew cost. You also have Breath of Fire, which is going to go ahead and give the ads a damage debuff towards you, 5%. So you definitely going to want to always have that up. And then you have Rising Sun Kick, which is just there to be there, right? So these are going to be your main abilities that you're going to be using whenever you're tanking any type of content, right? Now, your 2 defensive buttons that you will have, you got Celestial Brew, is basically going to be your absorb. You're going to be using this basically on cooldown, and you'll also have this button reduced per Kick Smash and Tiger's Palm. So basically, anytime you have this up, you want to have your Celestial Brew up for any content that you're doing to reduce the damage that you're going to take. And then you have Purifying Brew. That's going to clear 50% of your damage delayed with Stagger. Now, Stagger is what makes Brewmaster per se. And we're going to go into a little bit more detail on that in a moment. But Purifying Brew is going to be big for you being successful as a Brewmaster, depending on how you manage this button. Now, you also have all these other abilities as well. You have different types of defensives and things like that. And we can go into a little bit more details on those maybe at the tail end of this video or maybe in the next video, depending on how you guys respond to this one. But these buttons are going to be the main ones that you want to actually keep an eye out for, and you want to get real comfortable with these buttons here. Mostly everything else outside of Dampen Harm and Fortifying Brew are more of a filler, but you can kind of use those depending on your playstyle. But these buttons right here, these are the ones that you want to really focus on getting super comfortable with, know how to utilize all of these buttons. Now, we're gonna go into our spell book real quick, and we're gonna go through a little bit of what makes Brewmaster. So, as you can see, this is what makes Brewmaster what it is. We have a passive called Stagger. You shrug off attacks, delaying a portion of physical damage based on your agility instead of taking it over 10 seconds. Affects magical attacks at 45% effectiveness. So what Stagger does for Brewmaster, basically what it does is whenever you take a hit, you don't take the full hit at one time. Stagger is going to allow you to take a portion of that hit that you take and spread out the damage over 10 seconds. So it's almost like a dot that's going to be on you. You'll take a portion, and then for the next 10 seconds, you're going to take the rest of that damage, right? Now, that's what really ties into Purifying Brew, right? You got Spirit of the Ox. So when you use Rising Sun Kick and Blackout Kick, you have a chance to summon a Healing Spear, and this is where your heals come from your Expel Harm. So anytime you're using Rising Sun Kick and Blackout Kick, with your chances are you're always going to be using these things on cooldown. You're going to have a chance to summon a Healing Spear for yourself. You have another passive called Shuffle. It's going to allow you to shuffle during combat, increasing the effectiveness of your stagger 100%. Shuffle is granted by attacking enemies with your Kick Smash, Blackout Kick, and Spinning Crane Kick. So Spinning Crane Kick is going to be one of the fillers that you will use mostly if you have 3+ targets. You're going to use that just to grant yourself Shuffle, and that's going to increase your effectiveness of your stagger, right? And then you have your Mastery Elusive Brawler. Each time you are hit by a melee attack or hit with Blackout Kick, you gain stacking 12.3 increased dodge chance into your next successful dodge. And it also increases your attack power by that same percentage. So these are all abilities that really make Brewmaster stand out and play a little bit differently than all the other tanks. Most other tanks have dodge, parry, block, blood decay. They can just heal themselves for the damage that they take. So Brewmaster does have that slight different variation of play whenever it comes to his tank style. And then you also have Celestial Fortune, which is going to be a big part of your healing. You have a chance equal to your critical strike chance to be healed for an additional 65% of the amount healed. So crit is a big stat for Brewmaster Monk. The more crits you have, the more of a chance that you have to be healed for an additional amount. So the higher crit is going to definitely benefit you a lot going into it. All right. And those are like your major passives. This is what makes Brewmaster like fun. In my opinion, I feel like Brewmaster is the most fun tank that you can play in the game right now. In my opinion, Prot Pally is pretty close. But Brewmaster for me, just with the different type of play style, Brewmaster's fun for me. All right, so we're gonna go up to the dummy real quick. Now remember, we have these 5 buttons here. These are our key buttons that we'll want to get really, really comfortable with. And Expel Harm is going to be one of those things as well that we really want to take into account whenever we need to heal ourselves. All right, so depends on how you want to pull. So how we want to go in, this is going to just be a tank and dummy. We're going to run into the pool. We want to go open with Kick Smash first. So you can Kick Smash from range. And then you want a Blackout Kick. That's going to give us our Shuffle. And then we're going to also gain Elusive Brawler. That gives us a chance to dodge. So after we Kick Smash, we want to make sure we get Breath of Fire. That's going to reduce the damage that we take by 5%. And then we'll Blackout Kick on cooldown. Rising Sun Kick. That's also going to give us our Elusive Brawler. Keep Kick Smash. Breath of Fire. As you can see here, my health is going down. And this bar right here, this is my stagger. As you can see, the percentage going up. What we would want to do, we would want to hit our Purifying Brew. And then we can go ahead and Celestial Brew. Now you see the absorb that it gave us, right? The more damage you take and the higher your stagger is once you Purify and Brew, you're going to get a heal from that. And then plus it's going to benefit your Celestial Brew. Now, my health might look dangerous here. And it is. But once I pop Expel Harm, I'm completely topped back off. right? So the more damage you're taking and the more stagger that you have, the more valuable that expel harm is going to be for you, right? So we'll kick smash. We'll keep the debuff of Breath of Fire on. And as you can see, my stagger is getting pretty high again. It's in the 40% range. So we're going to go and Purify and Brew. And then we'll go in Celestial Brew. And now I'm going to go ahead and expel harm. And that's basically going to top me back off, right? Brewmaster is pretty simple. I think that it can get overwhelming because how the damage that you can take will come out. Just be mindful of how you manage your stagger. And the easiest way that you're going to get these things is just going in and getting the experience from it. I feel with Brewmaster, once you go into harder content, you're going to be able to really see where Brewmaster shines when it comes to taking damage and mitigating damage. As long as you're able to utilize Purify and Brew whenever your stagger is high, knowing when to clear, and then you go ahead and using your Celestial Brew for your Absorb, then you'll have a good time playing Brewmaster. So the biggest thing, once again, when you open, you're going to kick smash, a blackout kick, Breath of Fire for the reduction, and then we're going to Rising Sun kick, Tiger Palm for your filler when it kick smash. And don't be afraid to take a good bit of damage. See, like where our health is at right now, there's no need for me to Celestial Brew. There's really no need for me to Purify and Brew because my stagger is pretty low. Now, whenever you're doing M+, and you go in, you're pulling multiple mobs, then you're going to have to be mindful of when to Purify. So other than that, I'm still at 25%. But what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just Purify here. And then get my Celestial Brew. And I'm going to go ahead and top myself back off, right? So these orbs that we're getting here, you can also, if you're in the mist and these orbs are right on you, you can literally just walk over the orbs, right? And if you're already topped off in heals, those orbs, they won't go away. They will stay there. And that's pretty much it. Blackout kick on cooldown, kick smash on cooldown, Rising Sun kick, and now I'm going to Purify, and then I'm going to a Celestial Brew, and I'm going to top myself back off. Really easy to manage once you get the hang of those 5 offensive buttons. And then you'll add in a button such as Russian Jade Wind. That's just going to add a little bit of extra damage whenever you're tanking. The Purify and Brew, Celestial, and I'm going to go ahead and just top myself back off. Really, really easy. It can be a little bit intimidating at times, and it might seem a little bit harder to manage. But once you get the hang of it, Brewmaster is going to be probably one of the best tanks that you can ever tank with, solely because they don't take any hits up front. All these things stack up, and then they get rid of it. All right. So that's pretty much my basic rundown of Brewmaster. Make sure Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick, Kick Smash, Breath of Fire, and Rising Sun Kick are your offensive buttons that you really want to get comfortable with using. And then also Celestial Brew, Purify and Brew, and then Expel Harm are going to be what basically mitigates your damage and being able to heal yourself back up to full. So I just wanted to give a really quick rundown of that. Next video we will actually be going into the talents and my choices of why I chose these talents for Brewmaster Monk. If that's something that you would be interested in, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, comment down below, and let me know what class that you play in WoW. Once again, I've been playing WoW for a very long time, but I've always wanted to make WoW super simple for anyone that has ever been curious and wanting to play the game. I play pretty much every single class and spec in the game, but I've always wanted to give information the best way that I can for anyone that has been wanting to try out any class and or spec in World of Warcraft. So if you like this short little video, just super basic, just give you, a quick rundown of intro to the spec, make sure to hit like down below, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.